We've got Instagram personality, TheHandyJ, our game I'd double tap that, and how to send the first message on dating apps today on It's Complicated.
You're listening to It's Complicated with your hosts Jennifer Golden and Lauren Leonelli, coming to you live from the AfterBuzz TV studios in Los Angeles, California.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another episode of It's Complicated.
Struggle is real when you're dating in the city.
I'm Jen.
And I'm Lauren, and today our drink of the day is TheHandyJ Mimosa. It's in honor of our guest. Well, it's her favorite drink. Yeah, is a mimosa. So we did it for her. But we did it a little different this time. We mixed Sofia Coppola sparkling wine, to be exact, and some tangerine juice because, you know, it's cute and pink and girly, just like our guest. Her favorite drink. We splashed a little juice in there, and cheers to that.
Cheers, guys. As we mentioned,
That's
today,
a really good combo.
Yeah, and thanks to our guest, Jess Sorkin, the creator of the wildly popular, edgy, and hilariously inappropriate Instagram account, TheHandyJ, in the studio. Guys, don't get it twisted. With over 435,000 followers, whatever it is, and it's just growing by the minute. Jess also has an MS in education, an MFT, and a CPC. Yeah, you know me. I don't know what any of that stands for, but she's going to tell us.
It's a whole bunch of therapeutical things.
She's educated as fuck.
She is, even though her Instagram is very, like, provocative and sort of harsh and brash, like you wouldn't have thought. But listen, it comes from a real place. Jessica Sorkin, aka TheHandyJ, is a certified professional coach and the founder of Power Coaching Today Incorporated, where she works to assist individuals and couples in taking control of their thoughts and their feelings and their relationship and their love lives. That's kind of like what we do. Can we be like power coaches too?
Maybe she's hiring. Who knows?
Jessica is a life coach that specializes in the matters of the heart, recovers individuals who are going through separation, divorce, or breakup, empowers individuals to date and be successful in finding a fulfilling relationship, and she saves relationships and resolves communication conflicts that individuals and couples are experiencing in their relationship. Communication is very tough.
It's key too. So, I mean, you need help. Just like sometimes in the gym you need a coach, you need a coach in your relationships in life and all that jazz. So she's got this Instagram account, TheHandyJ, and it's been featured in Fortune and Entrepreneur.com, and we're so glad she's here today. She received her master's in marriage and family therapy from the University of Miami.
That's the MFT.
Where I met her because we went to college together. We were in different sororities. But she discovered that the best therapy was laughter. And she found she could bring lots of laughter to a large amount of people at once through social media. All those 435,000 of them.
I mean, there's a lot.
A lot. So, you know, she doesn't take herself too seriously, and she doesn't have a problem making fun of herself at the expense of making other people laugh. She's grown TheHandyJ in order to connect, interact, and share a laugh with over 500,000 people.
And we can't wait to get her in here and laugh with her because she considers herself a modern day feminist who thinks that anything men can do, she can do better, plus bleeding. Because she's a girl. A woman. And we're going to get her in the studio. We are going to talk about her dating life, how she got her start, how to date like a modern day feminist, and if she in real life is as honest as she is on social media.
Ooh, we're going to find out. We got a lot of questions for her.
We do. All right, guys. But first, we are going to air our dirty laundry.
Oh, yeah.
It's so dirty.
I'm going to drink to that.
It's not really that dirty, but we are going to talk about what we did over the past week. Our guest last week was like one of my favorites, and it was a new moon on Thursday, and so I went home and did like all of the witchy things I could possibly do with my stone that I've been carrying around and putting under my pillow and putting on my heart and all of the things like she said. And I did this whole new moon ritual. I cleansed my stone, and I did this. I made a little altar. and put the things out and did and said the things. It was great. And so I'm carrying this stone around with me. I'm going to keep it right here.
It looks like a heavy one, so to carry that around is like commitment.
Oh yeah, no, I've been putting it in my purse and stuff. I'm like very careful when I put my purse down because I don't want it to like crack. But I had like quite the adulting weekend. It was a long weekend. We went to a Cirque show. I went with my boyfriend and some friends, and it was very, very racy. It's like perfect. It sounds like something the HandyJ would love. It was like so inappropriate and racy. I loved it. Had a backyard barbecue for the holiday, and then rounded it out by going to the beach because you just can't have like a kickoff to summer without going to the beach. Although I will say, can I just say, like, I don't really think beach towns here are all that great. Some people are like obsessed. It was Venice Beach, and I guess there's some good parts of it, but like it's dirty and not that cute.
Well, that's, I think, that part of the beach. No, there are nicer parts of the beach, but also I'm from Miami, so I'm very spoiled.
Oh, that's what I was exactly saying. I was like, it's not Miami. This is not that great.
No, but there are dirty parts of Miami Beach, too. It's like generally tourist areas where like there's a ton of people per capita sand.
But
like,
the water is pretty in Miami no matter where you go. Yeah. So there's that.
Right.
Anyway,
so guys, I also went home and did a whole cleansing ritual with my rose quartz. I like cleansed it. I wrote a note just like Heather said. I put it under my mattress with some more rose quartz. I have been putting my stone on my heart, and I don't know if you can feel your heartbeat through yours when you put it on your chest, but I can feel my heartbeat through my rose quartz, and I think it's actually super cool just in terms of science.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, wow, there is such an energy that like, transfers.
Yeah.
From my chest through something to my hand on the other side.
Wow.
And like, I was like, this is so just reminds you that actually energy is everywhere.
Oh, it's
and
real.
It can be passed on from thing to thing very easily.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was just something that made me more aware of that. And I do feel like magic has been happening. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of exciting. Like a friend came into town and she randomly was like, oh, I'm in town and there's also a guy I really want to set you up with that lives here. And I was like, what? Okay, cool.
Oh,
like I just quit dating apps. A friend brushes into town and she's like, I think I have your husband for you. Let me just give him your number. And I was like, okay. And so he texted me yesterday and we have a date next Friday.
I pimped you out, by the way, at the beach.
Oh, good.
I pulled your picture up and pimped you out to a friend of a friend, and I can follow up on that.
Great. Well, and then also another guy friend in my life was like, also, I showed your photo to this guy I know. And I was like, great. This is
there
all
we go.
working
See?
out.
You don't need dating apps. I think
No.
people are swiping for you.
No, and so here's the thing. You know, I realized that I had gotten kind of complacent as far as when I go out, I just sort of keep to myself and my friends and do that. And I am closed off, I guess, to new people around me. And I just am like, well, they're here with their people. I'm here with my people. And I can go in and swipe if I want. So now I'm like, my head is up. I'm like looking around. I ran into a guy that I wouldn't necessarily have thought to give my number to, but he asked and I was like, okay, gave him my number too, and we're probably gonna see each other at some point. And I just feel like everything I was doing felt a little bit brighter, because I was like more awakened, I guess, and not in my phone and not like stressed out about like, should I keep swiping if I swipe?
Like no pressure. It feels more organic and natural for you.
And I was having a lot of fun. I did all kinds of things. I went on a day date to a hotel pool. The date wasn't great, but the pool was awesome.
That's good.
But I was like, whatever, I went. And then I went to a rooftop nearby and had dinner and drinks there with some friends. Then I went to a barbecue. Then I went to a pool at another rooftop. Then I went to jazz night. Then I went to a show. I like was everywhere with everyone, like different friends. Had like a very nice like full weekend and felt like I was like putting my heart out there at the same time.
That's good.
So it was
and not
really
like
great.
Weird about it. You felt good about putting your heart out there.
Felt so good about it. I felt like rejuvenated. I was like, I do think that the universe has my back. Something's going on in the air.
Good. Well, we are going to have the back of the celebrities that are packing their bags and going to baggage claim because putting her heart out there, Maggie Grace, she's officially taken off the market. Does she bag on dating actors too?
I mean, she clearly does because, well, right now she's married currently.
She does,
to a guy who is like apparently a regular guy because he's the CEO of 2-Bit Circus, which is an engineering entertainment firm.
Yeah.
So it's still entertainment related, but not in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And before that, she was engaged to my friend Matthew Cook.
Yeah.
And so he's an actor / director / writer / and so
we talk about that a lot. She said that she is kind of like not really into dating. She doesn't want to like bag on dating actors and like the scheduling thing can be an issue, but she like steers away from it. With her, that's her personal opinion. But
she also gets engaged quite quickly.
Yeah, she does.
After like 3 months and then married and like.
But they're older, so, and she's already been engaged before, so she's already like done it, so it's like NBD. I don't know. I feel like that's what it is for people after marriage number 2, because what's her face is on marriage number 2 too, that just got married. The girl from Phantom of the Opera. I can't.
Emmy Rossum.
Yes. She just got remarried, and she's already been married
to Sam Esmail.
Yeah, she just like did it. I think they're just like, you know what? It's just we did. It's like
I think you should, a lot of people like being in relationships, and like the idea of marriage also maybe when they're a celebrity and like they have their own money and their independence.
Exactly.
Like it's not that big of a
money
deal.
is a thing too.
Yeah.
Like it's like not holding you back. You have Sharon Sachs that can plan your wedding in one day if you want. Khloe Kardashian, just do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so power couples, are they still a thing?
Well, we just named a couple. So like
I mean, yeah.
There's a new version of power couple, guys. It's not like in the old days, like R.I.P. Jen and Brad.
Yeah.
Like that was like my everything. I loved them.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go back to like, Clark Gable power couple old days. No, okay.
Like Sophia or Loren and any husband.
Yeah, and any of them.
No, but there was Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston,
Yeah,
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner.
And they were also like America's sweethearts / power couples.
Oh yeah. And then
like Ryan Phillippe and Reese Witherspoon.
Oh my God, you wanted them to get together because they were so cute in a movie.
Yeah.
And you were just like, wow. And then Brad ended up in another power couple with Angelina Jolie. But now the power couple has seemed to evolve. Now there's like power couples that consist of like a musician and a model, or a sports person and a whoever else,
or like Kim and Kanye,
right?
Or like Chrissy Teigen and John Legend,
right? A model and a singer.
Justin Timberlake and Jessica Biel. Well, they're
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, so now they're kind of mixing it up a little bit. I don't think that the old formula of power couples really, I honestly think that it has a little bit to do with reality TV and how big social media and that department is, because it's opened up a whole new door of a type of celebrity that would get together with what used to be the mega celebrity was an actor, then maybe an athlete, which we've talked about, like,
or a musician like a Madonna type, or
but
like a
now it's like a Chrissy Teigen or a Kim K or like a Chloe or
Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez. What?
I mean, it's so I think that now people still like to see the actors or singers or whoever that they are rooting for. They like to see them make it, but it's just a whole new ball game now. It's not just the like A-list actors like Tom Cruise and Kim what's her face,
Katie,
Nicole Kidman.
Oh yeah,
well yeah, them too. But I feel like Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise were like real.
They were like. I feel like also there's like a classic Hollywood that we're we're losing that, and so
it's
with that, like how you were saying Clark Gable, like in my mind, power star couple would have been like that kind of thing.
Two major like studio big blockbuster actors.
Yeah, like the movie Darlings, like that kind of thing, like of the classy era.
It's just a different Hollywood's a different day. It's a different day and age now.
Sadly though, Ben Stiller and what's her face?
Marsha. I don't know her.
Christine Taylor.
Damn. Oh, that was good.
They just split up after like 17 years.
I feel like they were together forever.
And I thought that they were like kind of like a regular couple within the whole like ecosystem of Hollywood. Yeah. And now they're splitting.
You know who's like a regular couple like that stood the like test of the 90s times?
Who?
Is Freddie Prinze Jr. and
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Still
together.
Yeah, they were like the ones that you thought. I kind of thought that about Ben Stiller and what's her name, but
yeah. Man, sad R.I.P. relationships.
Bye power Hollywood couples.
See, whatever. That just means there's hope for us. We could end up in power couples by definition.
Totally. And speaking of, we think reality TV is changing the game a little. We're going to do a reality recap and talk about what we saw this week in reality TV land, because it is huge, you guys. We love reality TV. What happens at the Abbey is like insane. The gay couple is like a recipe for disaster.
But in the best
the one
way.
gets drunk and like flirts with everyone, and then the other one just like cannot deal with it, and so it's like fire starter every fucking episode. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, so did that guy really cheat? What is it?
I mean, I don't.
Murray?
Yeah, Murray. they just get into arguments all the time because he, like, somebody grabbed somebody's ass or something, right? Or I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know if they keep it, like, under wraps because they don't want to just, like, out it right away. But it's very interesting to watch. And it's like this show is perfect for this kind of thing because there's so many relationships. Like that one girl that the guy likes, the girl from New Jersey, is like, oh, I have a boyfriend. And he's like, wait, what? And he's the, like, Jax of the group that wants to have sex with everyone. And you guys, The Bachelorette. Okay, so DeMario, who has, like, DeMario of a name. Like, that's his name. Wow.
Of course he's going to be a guy that has a girlfriend and comes on the show. This is not the first time this has happened in the Bachelorette franchise. Or The Bachelor.
The Bachelor. Didn't a girl do it?
Yeah, and so, like, that's the thing. Like, what happens in terms of casting is it's, like, starts a while back. You might, in your real life, start dating somebody, and you spend all this time with them, and then all of a sudden you're plucked out of obscurity and put on TV and taken into quarantine. So, literally, this guy never said goodbye to this girl and then showed up on the Guys Tell All thing where, like, they announced Rachel as the next Bachelorette and, like, they introduced her to a couple guys. DeMario was one of those guys, and this girl back home
was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
That's my boyfriend.
She's like, okay, I thought we were dating, but what? And so, of course, she tracks down producers or whatever, however that happened, and she got on the show to confront Rachel about this whole thing, show her text messages, and DeMario was sent packing.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye. But you know what was amazing was Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were on the show because they're the biggest fans ever, and they asked producers if they could just help Rachel find love. So they were part of this whole challenge in finding, like, somebody that was husband material because Ashton and, like, Mila are the couple goals. I'm sorry. They're just,
power
to me,
couple. Maybe
the
they're
cutest things ever, and I could die over them. Also, there's a guy on the show that I know personally, Dean Unglert. He is a recruiter for tech companies in LA, and so I know him just, like, through living in LA, and he's a really nice guy. And I saw him on there, and I was like, that guy
Are you rooting for him?
No.
Oh.
He's too young for her.
Okay.
But he made some, like, racial comment about, like, once you go black, he'll never go back. And she thought it was funny.
It's not true. I mean, it's not.
Says Lauren.
I'm not saying I like black people. I like black guys. I like black people. I like all of them.
Yeah.
But and white people and Mexican people and all of the people. But I'm just saying it's not, for me, it's not true. Like,
right. I think that's an old statement.
It's like,
and
I don't,
needs to be revised.
My boyfriend's like whiter than white. But I also don't like when we've talked about this. You date one black guy and it's like, oh, you only like black guys? It's like, no, I don't.
No, I'm not a Kardashian.
I like men.
I have variety.
I like men that look different. I'm sorry if they happen to be black or not. It's just whatever way the wind is blowing that day.
Well, what do you think about guys with gaps between their teeth? Because Peter on the show is so freaking cute. And she took him on the cutest date ever where, like, they went to Palm Springs.
They're going to have gap tooth children.
Yeah, apparently it's hereditary, except for the record, I used to have one, and the gap is called a diastema. It's a space between your teeth, and my teeth grew together, and so did the gap, and now I don't have one. Okay. And I never had braces. Anyway, not the point.
Okay, well, that's great. You guys, well, hopefully Rachel finds somebody on the show. And
apparently she's engaged, is what they say.
Okay, so that's great. Then it worked out for her. But can we please talk about she's already married, but can we please talk about the engagement that is being watched currently on the New York Housewives? What the fuck is going on with Luann and the what would you do? Okay, first of all, the Berserkshires, that's hilarious. That just happened.
Yeah.
You guys, what would you do if your friend was engaged? You heard about a cheating thing. You told her. Then she said, okay, we worked through it. I don't want to know anymore. Stop talking about it. It was only one kiss. You find out it's more than one kiss. How are you a friend? Are you a friend by respecting what she said? Or are you like, well, but also it was under this premise that it was only one kiss, and now this person, and this person has all made out with him too. We need to tell. Do you tell? What do you do? I would tell.
I would tell too, but then at the point where, like, Luann, for instance, is like, la 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 la.
Yeah, she basically was just like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
She just wants to go down the aisle. She says at some point, like, he's a 49-year-old man, and I
cannot change him.
Right, I cannot, and I won't change him. And you know what? I think she's right about that fact, but she also is choosing to marry him. And, like, you see in this show, like, Ramona is breaking down.
I actually respected the way Ramona approached that situation for once in my life.
And Bethany was also real bent out of shape about it. And they're trying to say, like, at that point in your life, you have that kind of experience. You can say, from my experience, I wouldn't go down this path. Now, my question is, do you listen to somebody that has had a similar situation and say, you know what, I don't need to actually go down this path because I've seen it from my friends and I don't think it's a great path to go down. I see the proof is in the pudding. Should I take their advice or do I figure it out for myself?
I don't know.
I
think that the right thing to do, though, is to give the information you know. So I think they did that. And
then
really,
people make their own decisions.
And yes, and really quick, while you're making decisions, we're going to talk about how to approach somebody on a dating app first. Just a couple of really quick things. If you don't have the security of Bumble,
which is like you write the guy first if you're a girl.
You might want to just be the one to start the conversation. Be prepared to message someone first. Just tell yourself that's what you're going to do. And then don't be gross.
Don't be gross.
That's a good tip, right?
If you actually want something to come from this like matching thing, don't be gross. Don't lead in with something sexual, like a sexual innuendo. Don't make like a comment that's like fratty or like growy or like whatever.
It's great to get someone's attention, and when we get our guest in here, we're gonna definitely talk about how to get attention without being like too turned off-ish. But I think, be funny or candid, but just don't cross the line quite yet.
No, and maybe make a point about something in that person's profile because, people are getting hit up all the time. And sure, you could have like a canned phrase that you use all the time, but make it one that opens the conversation. Like either it's their name, so you feel the person that's receiving that message is actually feeling like, wow, A, you know my name and you're not just copying and pasting.
Yeah.
But B, like you're excited to talk to me.
Exactly.
So you do like, Jen! !
Yeah, and then,
I'm
say
so
something witty and personal. So if you guys want more of the tips about how to message somebody first on a dating app, because I know it can be scary, go to theverge.com. This is the article that we read, and we found it very, very insightful.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to talk to our guest who just walked in and get some insight on her.
Did you already sip your mimosa? Because we made that just for you.
Just for you.
Thanks.
Wait, what is our cute name for it? The TheHandyJ?
Yeah.
Mimosa.
We thought, yeah. Yes, and we were going to.
And you get a really classy straw.
Yeah, we gave you a straw because it's morning, and we thought maybe it might just be easier to sip through a straw or not,
and
or
a dog,
and a dog.
You get a dog as well.
And I'm just good at sucking. So
There, and here she is, everyone.
Good morning, everybody.
Here she is. I love it. Okay,
oh my God,
so
Jess, hi. I haven't seen you since college.
I know.
That's a
you
long time.
guys, how does it feel?
It's like a really fun reunion.
Aw,
Super fun.
okay. So how long have you lived in LA?
Almost 3 years
Okay, where were you before?
in Miami.
Doing like grad school and all that jazz, like getting smart. Like, damn.
Yeah, most people don't know that.
Okay, so tell the audience, because there's like all these initials that come after your name. Tell the
What are
audience
all those
what they all
degrees and
are,
things?
so we can start with your line of background.
My master's is from University of Miami, and it's marriage and family therapy. It's a master's of science and education.
Okay.
I think that's the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else does it say?
Oh, she's like,
We'll
I don't
tell
know
you.
how many. Okay, so MSED,
Okay, I just said that
and
one.
then MFT, marriage and family
Therapist.
and then a CPC, which is a
Certified professional
yeah,
coach.
Yeah.
Which is
Damn.
a life coach.
I mean,
changing lives every day.
do you still do a lot of that kind of work, or are you more focused on your social media personality and presence and all that?
I don't do any of that.
Okay. And did you think that it was gonna, like, how did that take a turn? Like, how did that feed into itself? Because it's connected, kind of.
Yeah, I was doing it for a while, and there's just a lot of people complaining, and it's like the same 10 problems. Everybody's got
What are those main problems?
social media.
Like what?
Like just everybody's fighting over social media.
Like things they're seeing, or
things they're seeing, who
Or
they're
like you
following,
followed that girl.
what
Why'd
they
you like her photo?
Yeah, why didn't you delete the pictures of your? I mean, anything.
Okay.
Oh, digital age.
And when I was doing it, it was like Tinder had just came out, so which I think revolutionized things for women anyway. I was all for it, but I was doing that, and I just started blogging because I was just getting burnt out, and I really didn't think anyone was going to read it. I was like emailing it to my friends and just mocking like paradigms and dating rules, and it just kind of took off. And the more it took off, the less people probably wanted to pay me for professional advice.
Well, do you think it's just because you're so honest? But I feel like some people really want honesty. Like, I would go to you for like a really honest, harsh opinion.
Yeah.
Well, I think now it's coming back around.
Okay.
Now I've been doing the social media for a few years, and while it's like tongue-in-cheek and super obnoxious, I do get a lot of people who would like, I would absolutely pay you for your opinion on this. What should I do?
I love that. So, okay, now you mentioned the rules of dating and like that. What do you think about that? I know lots of girls who follow like rules, and maybe those are different for everyone, but what do you think about like those standard rules, like don't text back right away and don't sleep with the guy on the first date, like that bullshit?
I think that bullshit works for some girls, maybe younger girls at this point. Now, I mean, like she said, it's been a long time since I was in college, but I can't imagine being in college with the social media and whatnot.
Right? It was already so crazy as it was. Like, I guess that brings up a really good question. So we were in Miami for school. What do you think is like the biggest difference or similarity between dating in Miami and LA?
Ooh.
It's even in LA, it's kind of changed. I feel like a few years ago when I got here on Tinder, if someone was in the entertainment industry, I'd be like, great, I don't want to read your script. No, I don't know. No, I don't know anyone. Where now I'm like, cool, you have an app. Like, everybody's got an app and everybody's in a startup, and like literally it's like CEOs that I'm swiping left on. I'm like, yeah, right.
What? Why don't you want them?
Because they're not. They're like walk dogs. They're like
and they're the CEO of Walking Dogs, and they're like the CEO of the app that hasn't been developed yet.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, this.
So what you're saying is those are the old like I wrote a script.
Yes.
Person. I'm a writer. I'm a director.
I'm like, okay, and great, you put in 80 hours, and that's amazing.
But like, what do you have to show for it?
But I'm 32. Like, that's not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So then what would you swipe right on?
Well, so lately I've been thinking that like I need to make a lot of money so that I could be like a little sugar honey and just date a like starving musician and live my fucking life.
Wait, really? Oh my God, I kind of like it.
Which is like before I was like, I want someone to take care of me. Like,
I just gave my number to a 23-year-old. That's who I was saying I gave my number to.
I mean, for me, that's where it's at. The young boys are where it's at.
Oh, he followed me around like a little puppy and wanted to get me drinks and like take me to my friends.
They are so eager to please, and they are so over like the dumb girl. Like when we were in college, we would meet a guy out at the bar and hope he called us, and we would meet one guy and wait all week for that guy to call, and he might have gotten 18 girls' numbers, and not that he didn't like you, but they had endless supply. Now any girl they talk to is hands down getting way more dudes than they will ever get.
Totally.
Girls,
we have the power a little bit there.
We have all the power.
Okay.
We have all the power. Any guy that thinks that they are like playing you, or like, we could have way more. And Tinder and that has allowed, at least for quantity. Like,
I think that's what's breeding men, like the male insecurity.
It is. But
Because
so
they're,
now
like,
you
so
got these
emotional.
23-year-olds who like hate these girls who've been playing them and blah blah, and older girls who are like looking for a relationship and like were raised in like a normal era are like decent people to them, so they're like, I love older women, they're so like normal and stay home sometimes and don't fuck promoters and like, you know.
Totally. And you know what, I think that they also appreciate the fact that we know what we want, and I think they find it really sexy. I would say like God, when was the Canadian actor, like
2 years ago?
Oh my God, he was
3 years. I don't know.
very young and very
attractive.
Like, oh my God, he's on
Grey's
Anatomy. And he is exactly what you just said.
Yeah, I love him.
Very eager to please.
And they like us. We're better in bed. People always are like, oh, your Instagram, or you like really like that sexually. I mean, I wasn't at 25.
No, that's what I'm saying. Now we're like in our sexual pride.
Right.
And he was very good in that area.
Yeah.
I mean, not that with any of that happened or not, but I mean, whoa. But he was younger, and you don't expect. It's like I wasn't expecting that, and then I was like, oh my God, this guy is like out of a fucking movie.
Yeah, and they're like little rabbits. They're really eager.
Yeah.
They're just
my youngster was like, I would really just like to bring over a bottle of wine and hang out with you and your dog. I'm like, could I die? Could I
my
die and go
God,
to heaven?
let him do
And
it.
he lives down the street. I'm like, you are my like sex boy.
Invite him over.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously, geographically desirable. It's
Totally.
Like the
And
biggest
that.
turn on there is.
Oh my God.
And he's like mature and like wants to own a farm someday. I'm like, everything you're saying is amazing. Also, stop talking.
I mean, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, so you're very, like, I think, open, honest. You're inappropriate in a great way on social media. Is that your, like, do you amp it up a little bit? Is that how you are in real life on dates? Do you just fucking say how it is?
It's definitely my attitude, and it's definitely my sense of humor. I definitely am like dropping F-bombs on first dates, and
Who doesn't?
Standard.
yeah. But I definitely think that what people take away from it is that probably I'm like blacked out every night and whatnot. I always tell people, actually, online dating, I'm like, so I just have to warn you, I'm a catfish, a personality catfish. I'm not nearly as cool as I am online.
Okay.
So, but
Which I
it's
think
definitely
is
the
good.
same banter. Like
Yeah.
if you appreciate that humor, you'll get that on every date. But
Well, so are you single?
yes,
Oh.
And you're on dating apps.
yes.
all of them? Some of them? Which ones?
I was on Bumble.
What happened?
I don't like Bumble. It feels like homework. It's like I'll swipe when I'm bored. It's like I can't fall asleep. I wake up and have all these matches. I don't want to talk to anyone at 7 a.m. when I'm getting ready for my
Yeah.
day. And then when I go back to look, like 3 days later, they're gone.
It's so many requirements. Like,
true.
you have to write
I
first. You have to
remem-
do it within a certain time frame.
I remember that about Bumble. Yeah.
And I kind of feel like everyone who is on Bumble is on Tinder anyway.
Tinder's your jam. I
And
can
people,
tell.
yeah, people think it's like the bottom of the barrel, but like the last dude I met was on Bumble, and he was like a nice Jewish boy, and it was like a good catch, but like I really want it now. I just find, I don't know.
Bumble's kind of boring.
You
Yeah.
had a bad. Your
It's
last was Bumble,
boring,
too,
and it's
yeah.
like
Ugh.
they want the girls to message them, and it's like I don't know if they have fear of rejection or they're fucking lazy. Either way, it's not for me.
It's not your jam.
I don't care for like Raya or any of that. It's like a bunch
Okay.
of people who think they're cool because they're like DJs and
But they're like unemployed.
yeah. So it's like
They're the people that you're talking about.
yeah. I mean, I'd like literally rather date a child molester than I would a promoter. So it's not for
Oh
me.
my God.
It's just not for me.
Listen,
It's kind of one and the same, really.
I mean,
It's literally, I mean, get this, if you're a promoter at my age, you might as well be a child molester.
because if you think
so-
about the people that are letting into places, they're children.
I love that, and I agree with you.
yeah.
Now, do you tell people on dates like what it is that you do? Are you like,
Yeah, how
I'm
do
the
they-
HandyJ?
How do they react?
I mean, I put it in my profile.
Okay.
I tend to attract men who actually don't even have social media,
Wait a
which is a
minute.
good thing.
Is that a good thing for you?
Yeah, because I feel like my social media breeds a little bit of an insecurity that like if I really cared about someone, I wouldn't want
Okay.
them to feel. But like if they're just completely oblivious to it, it's like, cool, babe, make your memes or whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
and it's just another world to them that they don't care about because they're
Right.
working on their app for
Right, of
18
course.
hours.
Their app.
Yeah, they're
Because
working on their
CEO
app.
of said app.
Yeah. They don't have time for my memes.
my God.
But it's hit or miss. It's a lot of, I think the men tend to be a little bit actually kinder to me or more respectful because I have a big platform to put them on blast and I have no shame in doing so.
Well,
So
do they ever say to you like, "Oh, if this date doesn't go well, are you going to put a meme up about me?"
every single person says that. And up until about like 2 months ago, it was never, ever, ever personal. Like I would never, like I would make a meme in a moment, but I don't like if I'm going through. I could be like totally happy in a relationship and be posting about like,
Totally, like, fuck
somebody
you,
awful.
yeah.
Like every ex, like I love my exes. I have a 26-year-old ex who is like the most amazing human ever. I love him. So shout out to him. I love him.
But wait, why?
He
it's
lives
just-
in New York.
and it's just not.
We met in the DMs, and he's amazing. But it just long distance and the age difference
Yeah.
is it's
Yeah.
Recipe for
yeah,
disaster.
and I have a lot of options, so why settle?
I
But
like
he
it.
is great. But I love him. Point being, and my other ex is like my best friend in the world. So it's like, and literally 3 times a day I post how awful my exes are, and people are like, "Wow, your exes must have really did you dirty." I'm like, "Oh no, I love them." But as of like a few months ago, I dated this one guy, the boring dude, and like. I don't know. I just was like, I guess I was kind of embarrassed that I dated him, so I had to like outwardly, publicly acknowledge, because now that my life is in the spotlight, people like saw him and saw who I was dating, so it was like I had to publicly acknowledge that I knew that
It wasn't a good choice.
either he wasn't that cool. Like I was like, I had to.
Wait, but why?
And it's a big day. He finally unfollowed me like yesterday.
Wait,
Finally.
do you have one of those apps that tells you if people unfollow you?
No, I've just been like really confused because he's been following me, and usually I get blocked like instantly, and like I take that as like a badge of honor, and like
You're like, oh my God.
and this one was following me, and I was like, go away, like you're
Yeah.
such a fucking dweeb.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, and like he probably thinks my memes are funny. I'm sure I'm all his entertainment. And then I realized his new girlfriend follows me.
Oh, God.
Which is even weirder.
So weird.
Especially if she knows I'm like I feel like that's when you like unfollow. It just
Yeah.
especially following an account like mine. It's like a memer's dream to have
Yeah.
like an ex's girlfriend
Yeah.
following you.
Yeah.
So it literally just gave me so much good material.
Right.
That like every girl was like, yeah, right on. Like it's nice to feel empowered and be able to call out these people. Like
Sure.
we've always been, the crazy exes. So it's nice to be on the other side.
Don't you have another account like X in the City?
Yeah, but I don't really go on it that much.
Well, it was a really cute name. Like
I
X in the
was
City.
yeah. I wish I'd like went with that as opposed to the TheHandyJ, but no, I'm stuck.
Can you
with
just switch it? No, because people know you as the handy
Yeah.
J.
yeah, and it's
that's a
funny.
catchy name, too.
But yeah, X in the City was like just weird love quotes that was not aligned with who I really am, but it grew quickly, which was nice.
How did you like get your start in social media? Like you became not an overnight success, but like you've got a fucking shit ton of followers.
Yeah.
How did that even happen?
And like when all of a sudden
Did you
just,
know
like,
it was gonna happen? I mean, we have so many questions.
I really didn't know. 2 years ago, like I was like New Year's Eve, I was on like a family vacation. I remember it was New Year's Eve and being like, guys, I'm gonna have 10K followers by 2015, and I thought I had like really made it. Like I was really excited. It's funny that I thought I made it then, because now I'm like, it's not that many followers.
I mean, for me it would
But
be.
then
I would cry.
but then I got in this like network of like this group of like amazing people in like the Instagram world, and we would all like shout each other out and share each other's material, and I was getting like a lot more exposure that way. And I think that's really
So it's like cross promotion.
yeah.
Like
And it
the
was
North Witch?
Yes.
That's one of them.
North Witch
So-
69, and
I hope you're watching because
Yeah.
I follow you too, and
We steal everything from you guys. So thank you for putting things out there. Are a lot of these things like you were saying you create memes? Now, are they like from your brain? Do you just like
I don't
take them
even
from other...
create that many memes or anything. At
So
this
it's like-
at this point, I don't do much because the following.
it's just there. Right.
People don't care where it came from. They don't care
No,
if it's
right.
me or the dog posted it. If it makes them laugh and it's relatable, they just want to see it.
I
so
agree. I had
I'm
a-
more than happy to throw North Witch's memes up all day long.
Yeah.
And give her credit. Like I'm more than happy, one, for people to see how fun she is, and two, like they don't care.
don't
It's just
care.
a source for
Right,
exactly.
people don't care if they're watching this on Netflix or HBO as long as they get to see it. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I had a girlfriend one time be like, so those memes that like super passive aggressively, those memes that you post, that's so cute. You make them up, right? I'm like, no, I borrowed them. She's like, so don't you think you should like say that they're not yours? I'm like, no, everybody does that. I borrow them from somebody who already came through my feed and borrowed it from someone else.
Most of the people I work with actually do write their material, so it's really nice for me. It makes my job really
you're like,
easy.
thank you.
And like I'll literally be like, I need a meme about a crazy ex's girlfriend that stalks me, and they'll just have like 20 in the bin, like ready to go. So it's exciting.
I always wondered, I'm like, where
And I
did
could
these come from?
totally write some. At this point, I've literally gotten lazy, and there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah. There's a lot of material.
There's a lot of material, and like I said, it's you shout out your friends, and
Yeah.
it's nice to help grow each other. So
Speaking of a lot of material and like borrowing from your friends, how do you then differentiate yourself from like Good Girl, Bad Thoughts, and The North Witch, and all this?
Daddy issues.
Yeah.
We don't say it. Sorry.
Oh.
we don't like her because
Okay.
she steals from everyone.
Oh. Okay.
I
well.
thought she actually got in trouble for that.
I hope so.
No, I think that was a whole thing. Like the fat Jewish.
Meaning, hold on, she steals from people and then tries to take
then
credit.
like puts her name on it. Like it's fine if you want to post it on your page, and you don't. There are no rules. You don't have to credit. If you want to post anybody's meme and just post, there's no rules. You don't have to do it.
I don't necessarily credit, but we don't then say we said it.
Right. Yeah, but exactly. Yeah. You don't have to, and you don't have to credit where you got it. There's no like rules for that. But it's a little weird if you were to then write your own name on it. Yeah. It's like you put it in quotes and then you didn't say that.
So
that's weird.
What she does.
That's really strange.
That's like catfishing someone on a dating
app. And she claimed they were hers. So that's why everything was original. So that's why we don't talk about her. But everybody else does write their stuff and repost. I mean, people ask me like, where do you come up with your stuff? And I usually just say I steal it, and it sounds funnier anyway. Being like I steal all of it.
Like the cleverness is in the caption, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think so. I think anyone not reading my captions is missing out because they could see my stuff on Northwich or Good Girl with Bad Thoughts or Your Fuckboy or Queens Over Bitches.
But it's what you think your audience wants to hear.
Yeah, so when you were asking the difference, there is definitely variations in our target markets for sure. I do think mine is much more polarizing than a lot of their accounts.
Like the Northwich sometimes will write something like
inspirational,
or
like
exactly
don't let a fuckboy like hurt you.
You're beautiful or whatever, which is great, but you're definitely more like fuck that shit.
Yeah, and I never veer from that. And
I love that.
Yeah, and it's and so everybody has their own brand, so it's nice. It's not ever like a concern of.
Yeah, there's enough to go around. Speaking of which, so you do like some kind of like promotion of brands that are aligned with your brand. Like we actually had a conversation about the gummy penises that you can send to somebody as like a penisgram. And so like who would you send a gummy penis bag to?
Those dick in the bags?
Yeah, that.
I love that.
Probably some guy that I matched with last week just to be like really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Or like girlfriends or something.
Yeah, I think they're great for like bachelorette parties, someone going through a breakup.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of good purposes for it. I'm always when they come to me to advertise, I'm always happy to do them. There's some other ones that are fine, they do fine, but like the dick in the bags.
That's where it's at.
That's where it's at.
Such a good idea. I love that. I want a dick in a bag.
Well, you know what? We could send that to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's still time.
We can send
Your birthday
dinner,
is in the future.
It's in October, but you don't have to wait for a birthday.
No, but it could be just a Sunday. But also, so now is this a way to like completely make a living out of doing Instagram? Because people wonder, like, you're posting several times a day. That's got to take time.
Yeah, it's not my living, but you can absolutely make a living off Instagram.
And that's just because people pay you to promote.
Yeah, you're paid to advertise. Plenty of people are making money off advertising. You know, a few $100, literally PayPal or Venmo, so cash a day. Like not just Monday through Friday, weekends.
Wow.
So. And like multiple ads. Like sometimes you see people like are doing like out of nowhere. Actually, I've seen I think like on the Northwich like a random like dress company or like a bikini.
Yeah, and someone's paid her. Right. So she could absolutely live off that if she wanted to.
Man.
Like, her following, she's close to 1 million followers. Anybody would be lucky to advertise on that. And, the Instagram market is still not as expensive as like taking out a billboard. So
that's true.
That is
more
true.
people look at Instagram than they are,
There's a lot of eyes on it. Do people ever recognize you?
As of late, a little bit more.
Like
how? Since Snapchat started, because I wasn't anonymous, but I didn't really post many photos of me, and there was no Insta stories either. More so because people would be like, oh, we don't care what you look like.
Exactly.
Yeah. They just care what you have to say.
Yeah, like please steal more memes.
Like make us laugh.
Yeah.
Go away.
They literally think I'm like a clown. Like they're like, come on, tell a joke.
Wait, actually, I saw you posted promoting that you were coming on the show, and some guy wrote, "Wow, you're actually pretty hot."
Yeah, someone wrote like, "Oh, I thought you'd be a fat slob."
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
nope.
I liked it. I think because I was like, well, that's kind of mean that you thought that, but also great. You think she's hot.
Yeah, it's fine. The backhanded compliments are where it's at.
Yeah, because you probably give your compliments like that too.
Yeah, and that's the point. I will shame myself all day, but I take no shit from any of them.
Of course, you dish it out, you can take it.
Yeah.
You got to have a tough skin, just like in the dating world. If you're going to put shit out there and you're going to be on dating apps and do things, you got to like be ready to take it all in, especially in a city like LA.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think dating in LA is that bad. I actually think
Really?
I think it is a very much like a coupley town.
Why do you think that?
Like when I go out, everybody's either on a date or like I don't see like boys out at the bar or like girls.
What bars are you going to?
I mean, I don't really go to bars, but
Okay, that
I
makes more
guess I
sense.
feel like when I was single and going out, I felt like it was really hard to meet guys at bars. Like we would
That's
go
what I'm
out
saying.
all
I
the
think
time,
'cause
and I would
they're
be
all-
like, that one young.
I think
actor.
unless because they don't go out unless it's a date. They're spending so much money on dates every other. I don't think they're going out with the boys to like get laid. Like you could sit on your couch and swipe.
Right,
Yeah.
and I actually so I'm on a dating app detox right now.
Mm-hmm.
For 21 days, a week has gone by, and like I feel like my world has opened up again because I have stopped swiping and like will actually look at people in the eye.
Are you meeting people at like Trader Joe's and stuff?
I met someone recently. Where was I? I don't know. I was at a barbecue. And I was talking to people and engaging in conversation where normally I'd kind of be dismissive and be like, nice to meet you. I'm going to go talk to my friends now and then go home and swipe and maybe find you there. But like,
Right.
So now I'm actually really talking to people because I'm like, this is kind of more my jam is like my chemistry with somebody versus just a random pen pal.
Right.
Yep.
So for me, I think this works better. And I'm hoping people one day stop being on dating apps so they can go back out in person.
Well,
I
and
can
you
meet
know if
them
you're
there.
attracted to them. I
Right,
mean, I have to
yes.
start off with like 20 questions, like how tall are you, where do you live, like do you have hair under that hat, like because if I'm not attracted to you, there's no point in us meeting up.
I
Right.
agree.
So
And it's hard to tell just based on the pictures that they're posting.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time on dating apps. I would swipe right more than I wanted to because I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, you want to
Yeah.
give them the chance.
Yes.
You're like,
Right.
maybe he could be cute. And then you're like, these are the best 4 pictures they've ever taken in their life.
Yeah.
But you don't remember that till you walk in and you're like, yeah, should have
Oh,
known.
And now I'm
And those are
fucking here.
old pictures.
And now I'm here, and now I got to go through this interview.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. So, like, has a guy ever said anything to you? You're like, damn, that was a good opening line on an app.
Yeah.
Or like, what will get your attention?
I can't think off the top of my head, but there's definitely been guys who have like great little one-liners. I tend to change up my bio often
Oh,
to like
really?
really just outrageous things.
Like, what does it say right now?
Right now it says, I'll give you a blowjob if you can get me to delete this app.
Oh!
That's really cute and true.
And
yeah,
then you're
Makes
like,
sense.
because it's like I'm dating and I'm dating lots of men and happy to do so, but like none of them are that great. So until I find someone that I want to delete the fucking app for,
I
like,
like it.
I'm not gonna bother putting in any work.
I mean, I would think that you would think the majority of people on dating apps are there to not be. So you're just saying it what everyone else is really feeling. And
Yeah.
if you're
Right.
not there to get off of a dating app, then,
yeah, if you're just there because you can like doing that at this point in the beginning, sure, getting laid, it was novelty, it was easy for men. At this 3 years later, if you're still getting exciting about swiping and taking girls for coffee and drinks to get your dick wet, I mean, that's what I say on the app. It's like I don't need the app to get laid. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm not here for a hookup. It's not that I'm here looking for a boyfriend per se. But I'm definitely not here to swipe for the rest of my life.
yeah,
I have
exactly.
It's just not. It's if you're not bored at this point of like hanging out with. Like you said, interview questions and asking where you're from and what
Yes.
you're doing and like, do you have any siblings and like,
Oh.
right. So it's like I don't know, and given that I have the Snapchat, and Instagram, I personally, especially, don't need the app to get laid. So they got to bring something else to exciting
Gotta
to
bring
like
something
get me to
else to
come
the
out.
table.
Like yeah, and like I said, so people didn't recognize me till Snapchat came about, and now maybe once a week, I guess.
Really?
But it's like super awkward.
What do they say?
Yeah, like, why is it
Are they
awkward?
like, tell us a meme?
They're like, hey, wait a minute.
It's a lot of like, you're my spirit animal, and it's a lot of like, aim higher. Like, not that cool.
Wait, they tell you to aim higher?
No, they
Oh.
say to me like, you're my spirit
Oh, wait,
animal.
you're
like-
saying.
You need a
Like, yeah. And I'm like,
Oh.
aim higher.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah, like
Are they mostly
usually I
girls?
fuck with them. Like they'll be like, I would love if we could grab a drink. I'm like, oh, I'm sober, and they're like, wait, what? TheHandyJ is sober.
Like, that doesn't make fucking sense. So
Yeah.
wait, it's mostly men or it's
It's in person. It's girls.
Yeah.
Men have been recognizing me, but they message me afterwards. Like, saw you at We Hope Bistro. Didn't want to say anything.
We Hope
I think they're
Bistro.
scared of me, probably.
Oh my God.
Good, they should
And I'm
be.
just a little flattered that they recognize me without without the filter and stuff. So like that's why I'm excited. Like I'm like, yeah, that was me. And how did you know that was me?
Without the cat ears.
Yeah, like hello.
Without
Like,
my yellow medicine mask.
yeah.
And the funny voice. Like,
So,
Oh my God.
so yeah, usually they'll kind of come up to me after the fact, and I'll be like, oh, you should have said hi.
do you, like, would you go out with a fan?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You already know
because
they like
they're
you.
very attentive, like the young boys.
Because they're like,
Then you don't have to explain yourself and what you do.
yeah, I think I'd go out with a fan for a reason why I'd go out with anyone else. I mean,
They're just
most
like
of them are
us.
fucking losers anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Might
fans,
as well give a fan a try.
might as well. I mean, they like me to begin. They were already one step up. They
Yeah.
like me.
We're already past the "you're obsessed with me" point. So
Yeah.
now,
And I don't have to worry about when he's going to start following me.
or like my
Yeah,
post.
I get more upset that I lose my likes. I'm like, God damn it! If I meet up with this guy, there goes all my fucking likes.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
You're like
my
one
God.
follower gone.
yeah.
That is hysterical.
I love that. Well, we want to play a quick game with you before we wrap up.
It's kind of in line with what we're talking
because
about.
we live in a very social media driven world now. People are validated by the 2 taps of the fingers, like we were just talking about. And why not? Because it's such a quick and easy way to like tell people what you like.
Like,
right?
what if somebody actually walked up to you and they were like, "Doop, doop."
Yeah, like in
You're like,
real life. Like imagine if you could navigate through like the real world and like dating situations by like double tapping like the air or their forehead or something.
or
to,
like somebody said something that you like and you're like, or they didn't and you're like,
Yeah.
unfollow.
unfollow, gotta go.
Yeah, when
Right?
people do on my Instagram say unfollow all the time.
Like, thank you for letting me know.
You're like, thank you for actually saying it.
Yeah,
And then
someone
doing
made a
it.
meme once that it was like being at a restaurant and going up to a table that you're not sitting with. I'm like, I'm leaving now. Like nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
no one knew you were
exactly.
here to begin with.
And when people message me really like hate mail or whatever, or they'll be like, you're not as attractive as you think you are, I'm always like, at least I don't message strangers on the internet.
Exactly. Like, you're a fucking
They're like,
troll.
I'm unfollowing you. That was rude. I'm like, oh, really? That was rude. Not the abortion joke yesterday. This was rude. This is what you're like unfollowing me over because you don't like my sticky bra ad. Like,
Oh my God. You know what? Listen, people get really bent out of fucking shape.
For the weirdest thing.
Yeah. And so we want to know if we list a couple of like dating relationship situations that you might run into in real life, like if you would double tap on that or not, because you'd be surprised sometimes what people are okay with and not okay with, and you never know. So if you had to like outwardly double tap, like what would you do if you ran into your ex? Is that okay?
which one?
Like,
Okay, so you either are double tapping it, and which one? You either are double tapping, or what would you say?
well, if it's like all but one, he could totally like actually tap it.
I like it.
Me too. Okay. What about opening your phone and his Instagram pops up?
Oopsie. Like it's you've been stalking him
Yeah,
and
and
now he knows.
he's there, and he sees that you.
Oh, I have no shame. I'd be like, I've been stalking you for hours.
So you double tap that. See, I like that. Some people will be like, I'd be mortified.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely be like, oh.
Okay, so what about, would you double tap on a guy that has roommates?
Well, I prefer them to live alone because I prefer to be naked, but
Thank you for putting clothes on today.
I tend to be at my house anyway. If they had roommates, I guess it just depends. If he lives with his brother because his brother lives in a
Okay.
sick pad in Bel Air, I'm down to hang out there.
That's very fair. Very fair.
Totally fair. Okay, what about a guy who's under 5'7"?
No,
Unfollow.
I would unfollow. I would
Okay.
block.
What do you think about a guy who doesn't drink? Would you double tap or unfollow?
I don't know if I'd unfollow. I don't. It works if you work it. It's not for me. It's not for me.
It's not for me either.
I don't date vegetarians either.
Yeah.
I agree.
People that put limits on my fun, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Yes.
anybody,
Or judgment.
any
Yeah.
no type people just probably won't get along with me.
Yeah,
You
that
know?
makes sense. No
Yeah.
type people.
No type people. I
Yeah.
like it.
Okay. What about dating on reality TV? Would you do it?
Would I do it? Probably not,
Okay.
because I don't like to wear clothes.
Again, it's
yeah.
the naked
You know they
thing.
can censor you though. They
Yeah,
can put that
I guess I
weird-
could be on like naked and dating.
Yeah,
or
that would be so
whatever. I
fun
could
for you to do it. I think
But
you should.
yeah,
What about if you came across a guy? Would you double tap knowing that he has slept with a friend of yours?
only if they wanted me to, like
Yeah.
to get intel.
Oh. Or what if they didn't care? Like if
Like, do I care if they've slept with
do
my
you
friend?
care?
If they don't care, I don't care.
I agree.
But yeah, I mean, it would have to be like I have a girlfriend that slept with an ex of mine, and it's literally like, by all means, please, I don't care at all, and it hasn't been weird or anything.
Yeah.
I think you know your friend. Yeah, I think
I agree.
Yeah.
As long as they're not stealing the person, I
Right.
think it's
Yes,
fine.
I agree.
Exactly.
As well.
Like, don't sleep with them like
A lot of
after I did that
times,
day,
a lot of
but-
times I match with someone, and they're following my 3 best friends, and I'll be like, oh, how do you know so and so? And they're like, oh, we matched once on whatever. If I choose to take it further, like, oh, did you guys fuck? Fine. But
Right.
9 times out of, I mean, like when you're dating in LA and your thing is 5 miles, because it's like
Yes.
anything other than that is long distance, then all your friends have probably matched with him
Exactly.
too, if he's
Yeah.
any bit decent and over 5'7".
Right. It's true.
I-
And doesn't have a roommate.
You're right. Well, when I was on the dating apps all that long time ago, a week ago, I would put a picture of all my single friends, like me and all my single friends, so that they would know, like, all right, these are them. If you've matched with any of us, like, we all know now.
Right.
And, like, it was like my billboard, like, oh
my
we
God,
got
I
you.
love that.
We know.
Yeah.
Okay, last one, even though you kind of already answered it, but let's go back to it. Would you double tap on a guy who has no social media and is not searchable on the internet?
Yes.
Okay.
What if he's a killer and that's why he's not
Yeah,
searchable?
like, doesn't that scare you?
I've dated worse than killers.
Okay.
What's worse than a killer?
A douchebag.
Okay.
A stalker.
I thought I had a
Even if he
stalker.
didn't kill me, I would rather be dead.
She would
Some of them are
rather-
so annoying.
She would rather date a child molester.
True, than a club promoter, which by
A child molester's not going to bother me. I'm old now.
Exactly. So you're safe. It's totally fine. Okay, so before we let you go, tell everyone where they can find you. What's up next for you?
You can just find me on TheHandyJ on Instagram and Snapchat, and I'll be there being weird.
What kind of posts do you have?
Read my captions.
Yeah, what's happening today on the social medias for you?
Oh, I posted something someone wrote about you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, and I was like, it's like, shut up, you live with your mom. You don't have a house.
Yes, you're in the basement being like, Mom, meatloaf!
Yeah, so that happened, and then like the standard mac and cheese will never leave you type thing. I woke up.
It won't. It's always going to be there
Yeah.
for you.
Always going to be there.
Moment on your lips, lifetime on your hips. So
sometimes
it's
it has
not gonna
lobster in
leave
it.
you. Yeah.
Oh my
And then
God.
it's fancy, and it's like, well, you could have so many kinds of mac and cheese.
Yes, and we often quote things on the interweb that we find inspirational, but because we love your Instagram so much and find you very inspirational and relatable.
You are a spirit animal.
We
Aim higher.
I am going to tell everyone what my favorite, most recent post of yours was. And we sort of talked about this too, that a date is just an interview for sex. And I definitely agree. And let me just say, my boyfriend probably got the job after round 1. So
I've been thinking about it though. Sometimes now I'm starting to think that sex is just an interview for dating.
or that.
So
It depends on,
Interesting.
yeah, it depends on how
thinking.
fast you.
I think that comes maybe with age, because now it's
Yeah.
like not as emotional, but like it could be if like,
Right.
I like you, and,
And I
like
think
then
that's
I'll
why-
keep you if it's good. kind of
Totally.
thing.
It's why it happened so fast with me. I mean, I knew him a little bit
Right.
before, but also like the date was kind of an interview, and then the things happened, and then it was also like, and then I'm going to keep dating you.
Right, exactly. like the
Because the
sex,
things were good.
right? The sex is good.
It was cyclical.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have one. Maybe I should send you a bill for all the time you wasted.
That is so you. I feel like that you wrote that. Yeah.
I didn't write that, so maybe
Well,
you did. Maybe it
I
was
did.
you,
It
because
was me.
I don't know where it came from.
I feel like that goes with your dating app detox.
Oh yeah, stop wasting my time, kids. Like we've got no time for that.
Time is money.
Time is money. I want just the person to show up, and then we be done, and we just go live life.
I love it.
On a farm.
On
You
a
know what?
farm.
I'm not into the farm, but I like
FarmersOnly.com.
where I like the aspiration of somebody owning land.
Right.
That was just a nice, cute thought versus like a fake app that they'll never have.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, that's responsible, but I'm not going to the farm.
It's different.
Yeah.
Own
Yeah.
a beach or something.
Yeah, no
something
crystals.
I'd actually
no
go to.
crystals for you.
No, God no.
Okay, well, thank you, Jessica, so much for coming in.
Thank you for having
And you
me.
guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. And tell a friend, rate, comment on iTunes, follow the Handy J, which you probably already are because
'Cause everyone is.
500,000 of you, so you know it's fine. And then follow us too because hi.
We're here too.
Yes.
Hey, and we're stealing her posts, so we're funny also-ish.
And that. All right, Jenna, where can everyone find you?
Hi guys, you can follow me at Jennifer Golden on all of the platforms.
That's nice. And you can follow me at Lauren Leonelli on all of the socials as well.
Great. We'll see you guys next week for another social media success. Never liked it, and that's like where they give away things that your exes have given you, and they sell it on like eBay kind of thing.
I love it.
That's
It's
genius.
smart.
Yeah.
I love that.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Love you a long time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.